Grace and peace to you. Welcome to Morning Watch. I'm Rob, one of the pastors here at White Plains. Glad to have you with us today. Happy Wednesday, Owl. This is where we gather for a song and a thought for the day. So glad you are here with us, joining whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here and sharing and all of that good stuff. Well, let's begin our time together. And good morning, Kenna. Let's begin our time together by going to God in prayer. I watched this morning for the light that the darkness has not overcome. I watch for the fire that was in the beginning, and that burns still in the brilliance of the rising sun. I watch for the glow of life that gleams in the growing earth and glistens in sea and sky. I watch for your light, O God, in the eyes of every living creature, and in the ever-living flame of my own soul. If the grace of seeing were mine this day, I would glimpse you in all that lives. Grant me the grace of seeing this day. Grant me the grace of seeing. Amen and amen. Good morning, Miss Emma. Good morning, Dad. Good morning, Floretta. Good morning, Lee. And good morning to you whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here. So here's another one of my favorite songs that I still, much like yesterday's song, it's hard for me to believe that I'm actually able to play and share this on my own because I love the original recording so much. But to be able to play it and sing it, it is a joy. So I guess that's kind of the unifying theme of the songs this week. Songs that and it's not because these songs are especially difficult, right? It's just that you hear a song and you enjoy listening to a song. And then there's a different type of enjoyment when you're actually able to sing it yourself and not just sing it along with the radio or something, but actually make it a little bit your own. So that was definitely true with yesterday's song, Broken Arrow by Robbie Robertson. And today's song is Before I Go by John Hyatt. John Hyatt, of course, songwriter, supreme, wrote a lot of songs for Bonnie Raitt, Try a Little Tenderness. He wrote, look up Bonnie Raitt's best-selling songs, and which are not coming to mind right now, but he was the writer for them. Hey, James. All right. I've been sleeping for some hours, just woke up and you were there. Light the morning like the flowers, sunlight how, low and humble, many miles before I go. Many miles before I go. Proud and high, low and humble, many miles before I go. Ghosts on the trees, there's ghosts on the wires, asking questions and showing signs, shivering with truth there, lighting fires all down the line. I will try, I will stumble, I will fly, he told me so. Proud and high, low and humble, many miles before I go. Many miles before I go. Proud and high, low and humble, many miles before I go. Many miles before I go. There you go. Little John Hyatt. Yeah, Have a Little Faith in Me was one of the Bonnie Raitt songs I was thinking about, and I'm sure there's others, but anyway, great songwriter, and again, that's well worth checking out his version of that song if you don't know it. In fact, the whole album is great that is off of. All right, so new year, new voices. I'm doing these collection of meditations for renewal edited by Sarah Bessey called A Rhythm of Prayer. I think I mentioned earlier in the week that I may have done some of these before, but because there's markings in this book, so I definitely read some of these before. But they seemed new and fresh to me when I was going through them over the weekend, and so here they are. and if they are a repeat, well, we'll just be doubly blessed by them, because these fresh voices sometimes take repeated listenings, I think, to hear and connect with what God is saying through these writers. Today's writing is called A Prayer Against Efficiency. A Prayer Against Efficiency by Misha Boyer. O God, beyond time, beyond the number line, the hourglass, beyond moons that wax and wane and waves that push and pull along our fragile ground. O God, beyond days and weeks and months, God uncontained by our 24 hours, free of our borders, and yet still within them. God who is here, God of the meetings, the emails, the PTA, the neck ache, the child crying over homework, the car leaking oil, the head lice and the sheets to wash. O God of the groceries and the knife against the butcher block moving slowly across the cucumber. God of the sun's path across a sky we cannot reach. God of midday. God of afternoons and the laughter of children, the clap of a ball on concrete. God of evening. Evening color and the muted spread of light of the clouds as the night leaks in. God in the hand I hold. God of the one I love. God beyond time, we come to you, pulled by the bullet points in our calendars, by the titles we keep beside our names, by the goals we've charted and the accomplishments we list to define our value. You see each image we upload to our pocket screens, altered, filtered, and pinned to virtual walls. You, God, touch our distortions and soothe the edges of our efficiency. Only you can make us real. God, beyond the boxes we build to contain our lives, the hours we track and tally, God outside of time, and yet here, come to us. Relieve our ragged breaths. Slow our steps. Relax the red lines that spike in our brains. Tell us what is true. Show us how time rolls like calm water. And let us cup it quiet in our hands. God, teach us to pause in this moment, to tuck ourselves into the curve of your slow arm, that we may know the miracle of now, the gift of this moment. You beside and beyond us, welcoming us outside of all we measure and standing with us in it. May we see the goodness of our still hours and days, sunrises, sunsets, and the darkness where our rest is found. Order us, that we may stand within time, holding your hand, that we may know we are enough, not because of what we make of these hours, but because within these hours, with you, we are being made. Beautiful, isn't it? Within these hours, with you, we are being made. I love the writing. I love the prayer. I love the sentiment and the thought behind it. In fact, it's true with most of these readings that I could pin that to my wall and pray it every day for 30 days. And it might change me in the way I think about time, the way I think about my deadlines, my things to do, and the wonder that God is there in the midst of them. You know, it's tempting to say that God doesn't care about our schedules or our to-do lists or our daily activities. But reading a prayer like this helps me to understand that, no, God does care. That's the wonder of it. What we have to do and the things that we concern ourselves are so trivial. And yet, the God of all time and space elects to be with us in the midst of them and to love us even though we are distracted. Well done, Misha Boye. A little bit of information about her. There's information about all the writers in this book. Misha Boye is the author of Found, a story of questions, grace, and everyday prayer, and one of the hosts of a podcast called The Lucky Few, which is weekly, and it celebrates the lives of people with Down syndrome. She writes about ancient Christian spiritual practices, disability, and the life of faith. Boye holds an MFA in poetry from Syracuse University and has written for the Washington Post, Christianity Today, Pathos, and various other publications, and lives in San Francisco with her husband and 3 sons, and writes beautiful prayers. God beyond the boxes we build to contain our lives, the hours we track and tally. God outside of time, yet here. Come to us. Relieve our ragged breaths. Slow our steps and relax the red lines that spike in our brains. Tell us what is true. Show us how time rolls like calm water. And let us cup it quiet in our hands. Amen and amen. Well, may you find peace and purpose in this day. Thanks for being here and beginning it with me. And I'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another morning watch. Yes, so understandable, right, Floretta? Yeah. Yep, very much so. Well, thanks for being here and watching. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. And I will talk to you soon.